The African savanna appears calm at first glance. Tall grass sways gently under the evening wind. The sun sinks low, painting the land in golden shadow. But in the wild, silence is never empty. It is a warning. Near the remains of a half-eaten carcass, a lioness stands still. Her muscles are tense, her head low, eyes scanning the horizon. This kill is no longer fresh. The meat is scarce, and scarcity invites danger. For hours she has guarded what remains. Not because it is enough, but because abandoning it too early could mean wasting precious energy. In the savanna, energy is life. She lifts her head slightly, her ears twitch. A sound drifts across the grasslands. Soft, broken, almost playful. Laughter. Hyenas. They are not rushing in. They never do. Hyenas are not creatures of speed or raw strength. They are creatures of patience. They observe. They calculate. And they wait for weakness. From the distance, shapes begin to form. One, then two, then more. Their eyes reflect the fading light, glowing with curiosity rather than fear. They do not see a predator. They see an opportunity. The lioness snarls, baring her teeth. She takes a step forward, asserting dominance. Her message is clear. This is mine. For a moment, the hyenas hesitate. They keep their distance, circling slowly, testing, measuring. In the wild, direct confrontation is rarely the first option. Every injury is a risk. Every mistake can be fatal. The lioness charges. Dust explodes beneath her paws as she lunges forward. The nearest hyena retreats instantly, darting away with surprising agility. Another follows, then another. It looks like victory, but it isn't. The hyenas do not flee far. They regroup. Their laughter grows louder, sharper, more confident. The lioness stops. She breathes heavily now. Her muscles burn. Her energy is draining. She looks around. They are still there. Hyenas do not challenge strength head-on. They erode it, second by second, minute by minute. As the sky darkens, the pressure increases. The lioness can feel it. She is alone. No pride answers her call. No backup arrives. This is not a battle of claws and teeth yet. This is a psychological standoff. The hyenas move closer, not together, not aggressively, but persistently. One steps forward. The lioness charges again. Another retreat, another test. The pattern repeats. With every charge, the lioness loses energy. With every retreat, the hyenas gain confidence. The savanna does not favor the strongest. It favors the most efficient. The carcass lies between them, no longer a prize, but a trap. A reason to stay. A reason to fight. The lioness hesitates. Her instincts scream at her to hold her ground. Her experience tells her something else. This is no longer about dominance. This is about survival. And survival demands decisions. As darkness spreads across the plains, the balance begins to shift. The hyenas sense it. They move closer. The silence breaks, and the real conflict is about to begin. Night falls quickly on the savanna. With it comes uncertainty. Under the cover of darkness, the hyenas grow bolder. Their movements become tighter. Their circle narrows. The lioness turns slowly, trying to track them all at once. She cannot. That is their advantage. Hyenas are not fearless, but fear does not stop them. It teaches them how to move smarter, how to apply pressure without committing fully. One hyena steps closer than the rest. Its head is low ears, alert body angled for a quick escape. The lioness reacts instantly. She lunges. The hyena dodges, barely. A flash of teeth, a cloud of dust. But again, no contact. The hyenas laugh not out of amusement, but communication. Each sound signals confidence. Each call tightens the psychological grip. The lioness roars. It is a deep, powerful sound, a reminder of what she is capable of. For a moment, the hyenas pause, but the pause is short. Another hyena steps forward, then another. They are closer now, much closer. This is no longer intimidation. This is escalation. The lioness swipes at the nearest threat, her claws cutting through the air. The hyena retreats, but not far. They are learning. Every movement teaches them how she reacts, how fast she turns, how much ground she can cover. Strength alone is predictable, and predictability is dangerous. The lioness breathes heavily. Her sides rise and fall rapidly. Fatigue is setting in. She tries one last aggressive push, a full charge meant to scatter them completely. It works. For a few seconds, the hyenas scatter outward, disappearing into the darkness. The savanna falls silent again, but the silence feels different now. The lioness stands alone, heart pounding. She waits. Then slowly the shadows move again. They return, more of them. This time they do not keep their distance. They rush forward in short bursts, not to attack but to overwhelm, to confuse, to surround. The lioness spins, snapping at one then another. Her focus fractures. This is the moment hyenas wait for. Not a kill, a mistake. One hyena lunges toward the carcass. The lioness turns to defend it. Another snaps at her hind leg. Not a deep bite, just enough to test her reaction. Pain flashes. The lioness roars again, but the sound lacks its earlier authority. The hyenas sense it. Numbers have shifted the balance. This is no longer a contest of power. It is a calculation of risk. The lioness faces a decision: stay and risk injury that could end her future hunts, or retreat and lose what remains of the kill. In the wild, survival is not about winning every fight. It is about living to hunt another day. She backs away slowly, never turning her back completely. Her eyes lock onto the hyenas. They advance, not attacking, claiming. The carcass is theirs now. As the lioness disappears into the darkness, the laughter grows louder. Victory for the hyenas is not bloodshed. It is control, and tonight numbers prove stronger than strength. The night does not erase the conflict. It stretches it. As the hyenas tear into what remains of the carcass, the savanna seems to breathe again. Their movements are fast now, efficient. There is no hesitation, no fear. Not because danger is gone, but because it has been measured. At a distance, the lioness watches. She does not retreat far. She cannot afford to. Hunger pulls at her body as strongly as instinct pulls at her pride. Every step away from the kill feels like surrender. Every step closer feels like risk. This is the price of standing alone. The lioness lowers herself into the grass, her silhouette melting into the darkness. Her breathing slows, controlled. Her eyes never leave the hyenas. She is not defeated, not yet. But the rules have changed. Hyenas thrive in prolonged tension. They are built for endurance, not explosive strength, while the lioness relies on short bursts of power. The hyenas rely on persistence. Minutes pass, then more. The hyenas rotate positions around the carcass. Some feed, others watch. They understand something fundamental about survival, that victory does not always require violence. Sometimes it requires patience. The lioness feels the ache in her muscles intensify. Her earlier charges have taken their toll. Energy spent cannot be recovered quickly. In the wild, exhaustion is as dangerous as injury. She considers her options. A direct attack now would be reckless. Too many eyes, too many bodies. But waiting carries its own risks. Every bite the hyenas take reduces what little remains. Every second brings her closer to an empty outcome. The lioness shifts her weight carefully, silently. She scans for weakness. There is always weakness. One hyena strays slightly too far from the group. Another focuses too much on feeding. Their confidence creates small openings. The lioness rises. She does not roar. She does not charge blindly. She moves low and controlled, each step deliberate. This is not a display of dominance. This is calculation. She explodes forward. The nearest hyenas scatter instantly, startled by the sudden burst of power. Claws strike dirt. Teeth snap shut just inches from flesh. For a brief moment, chaos replaces order. The lioness reaches the carcass again, but the victory is fragile. The hyenas regroup faster this time. They have learned. Their response is immediate and coordinated. They rush from multiple directions, not to attack her directly, but to overwhelm her senses. The lioness spins, swiping, snapping, roaring. Her power is undeniable. So is her fatigue. The cost of holding ground becomes clear. She can keep fighting. She can keep forcing them back. But every second she stays increases the chance of injury. A torn tendon, a broken tooth, a wound that festers. In the wild, small injuries kill slowly. The lioness pauses again. Her chest heaves. Her body sends warnings she cannot ignore. This is the truth. A predator's face strength fades, but consequences last. The hyenas sense the hesitation. They press closer, not recklessly, but deliberately. Their confidence is no longer loud. It is controlled. The lioness backs away once more. This time she does not stop. She retreats into the tall grass, disappearing piece by piece into the darkness. The hyenas do not chase her far. They do not need to. Tonight is not about killing a lion. It is about removing her influence. As the savanna settles, the hyenas reclaim their rhythm. Feeding resumes. Laughter echoes across the plains. The lioness watches until the sounds fade. Then she turns away. Survival has demanded a sacrifice, and the night records it without judgment. Dawn arrives quietly. The savanna awakens not with celebration, but with continuity. Life resumes where it left off. The hyenas remain near the remains of the carcass, now stripped nearly bare. What was once a prize has become bones and scattered fragments. Efficiency leaves little behind. For the hyenas, the outcome is clear. They did not overpower the lioness through strength. They did not win through brute force. They won through pressure, through numbers, through patience, through understanding when to advance and when to wait. This is their true advantage. Elsewhere, the lioness moves slowly through the grasslands. Her body is intact, no serious wounds, no broken limbs. But the toll of the night is written into her posture. She is hungry, she is tired, but she is alive. And that matters more than any single kill. Predators do not measure success by victories alone. They measure it by longevity. A lioness that avoids injury can hunt again. She can adapt. She can survive another day. The wild does not reward pride. It rewards awareness. As the sun climbs higher, the landscape reveals the traces of the night's tension. Flattened grass, disturbed earth, the faint scent of conflict lingering in the air. But no bodies remain. No dramatic conclusion marks the end of the struggle. That too is the reality of nature. Most battles do not end in death. They end in decisions. The encounter between lioness and hyenas is not an anomaly. It is a recurring pattern across the savanna. Predators compete not because they are cruel, but because resources are limited. Food, territory, energy. Every interaction is shaped by these pressures. The lioness will remember this night. Her future decisions will be informed by it. Where to hunt, when to challenge, when to walk away. Experience is forged through loss as often as through success. The hyenas, too, carry lessons forward. They refine their coordination. They learn the limits of a lion's patience and endurance. Each encounter sharpens their strategy. This is how balance is maintained, not through dominance by one species, but through constant adjustment between many. The savanna is not ruled by a single predator. It is governed by interaction. As the day progresses, scavengers arrive to pick at what remains. Vultures circle overhead. The cycle continues. The night's conflict fades into the background of survival, yet its meaning endures. In the wild, power is temporary, control is situational, and victory is rarely absolute. What matters is understanding when strength is enough and when restraint is wiser. The lioness chose restraint. The hyenas chose persistence. Both survived. This is not a story of good versus evil. It is a story of adaptation, of animals shaped by millions of years of evolution, responding to pressure with precision. The savanna does not favor heroes. It favors those who learn. And every night, under the wide African sky, those lessons are written again, in dust, in sound, in silence. The savanna never pauses to reflect. It moves forward, indifferent to what was gained or lost the night before. As the sun rises higher, heat settles over the plains, pressing down on everything beneath it. The hyenas have already moved on. Their stomachs are full, their energy restored. They disappear into the landscape not as victors celebrating a conquest, but as survivors continuing a routine refined over generations. For them, the encounter is complete. For the lioness, it is not. She walks with purpose now, though her steps are measured. Hunger sharpens her awareness, forcing her to conserve every ounce of strength. The night's confrontation has left no visible wounds, but the cost is internal. Drained muscles, depleted reserves, and a mind still replaying moments of hesitation. Predators do not dwell on the past, but they do learn from it. The lioness scans the land as she moves, reading subtle signs others might miss. The direction of the wind, the behavior of grazing animals, the presence or absence of opportunity. Every decision she makes now is informed by consequence. In the wild, survival is a long game. One poor choice can echo for days. One injury can mean starvation. The lioness slows near a cluster of trees, using their sparse shade to rest. She lowers herself carefully, muscles tight even in stillness. Rest is not comfort here. It is preparation. As she breathes, her body begins the slow process of recovery. Energy returns gradually. Clarity follows. This is the quiet aftermath. No one sees the recalibration after conflict. Elsewhere, the savanna reacts in its own way. Herbivores move cautiously through the areas disturbed by the night's struggle. They sense that predators were active here. That danger passed through, even if it has moved on. Every interaction ripples outward. The hyena's success will influence their confidence in future encounters. Their willingness to press harder to test limits again. The lioness's restraint will shape her strategy moving forward. She will choose her battles more carefully. She will measure risk with sharper precision. Neither response is weakness. Both are adaptation. Nature does not punish retreat. It punishes stubbornness. As the day stretches on, the lioness rises again. Her rest is over. The need to hunt returns. She moves toward open ground, where prey might be vulnerable, avoiding areas where numbers could turn against her. Instinct and experience align. This is the real victory, not holding a carcass, but staying capable. Survival is not defined by what was taken. It is defined by what was preserved. As shadows shorten and the heat intensifies, the savanna resumes its rhythm. Predators hunt, prey flee, scavengers wait. The night's conflict fades into memory, but its lessons remain embedded in behavior. The lioness disappears once more into the tall grass, no longer reacting, but anticipating. The wild has moved on. So has she. The African savanna operates without laws, yet nothing here is random. Every interaction follows unwritten rules shaped by time pressure and survival. The confrontation between lioness and hyenas was not an exception. It was an expression of those rules. Strength commands respect, but only temporarily. Numbers create leverage, but only when coordinated. Patience outlasts aggression, but only when paired with awareness. These principles govern life across the plains. The lioness represents raw power, refined by experience. She is built to dominate in short, decisive moments. But even dominance has boundaries. The hyenas represent collective intelligence. Individually, they are vulnerable. Together, they become formidable. Neither strategy is superior in isolation. Each thrives under specific conditions. The wild rewards those who recognize when conditions shift. What appears to human eyes as chaos is, in truth, balance in motion. Predators push. Resistance forms. Limits are tested. No species is meant to control everything. Control is temporary by design. This is why the savanna endures. If the lioness had fought without restraint, injury might have followed. If the hyenas had pressed recklessly, death might have come swiftly. Instead, both adapted. That adaptation is the quiet engine of evolution. Every night on the savanna writes similar stories. Most go unseen, unrecorded. But they shape behavior across generations. Young hyenas learn when to advance and when to hesitate by observing older members. Young lions learn the cost of standing alone by witnessing the choices of adults. Knowledge passes not through teaching, but through consequence. This is how instincts are refined. The conflict over a single carcass may seem insignificant, but multiplied across thousands of encounters, it defines survival patterns. Who hunts where? Who yields ground? Who persists? The savanna is not brutal because it is cruel. It is demanding because resources are finite. There is no excess here, only enough. The lioness, now moving under the afternoon sun, embodies this truth. She does not seek revenge. She seeks opportunity. The hyenas regrouped elsewhere do not celebrate dominance. They prepare for the next challenge. No moment stands alone. Every outcome feeds into the next decision. This is the deeper story beneath the drama that survival is not a single event, but a continuous negotiation with risk. In the wild, success is measured quietly, by scars avoided, by energy conserved, by mornings reached. As evening approaches once more, the savanna prepares for another cycle, another test, another recalculation. Predators will cross paths again. They always do. But the outcome will never be identical, because experience accumulates, because conditions change, because survival is fluid. And that is the final truth of the wild. Not that only the strongest survive, but that those who understand limits endure. Under the vast African sky, life continues not as a battle to be won, but as a balance to be maintained. The savanna does not remember winners. It remembers balance. When night falls again, the land will look the same, but it is never unchanged. Every confrontation leaves traces, in instincts sharpened, in choices adjusted, in lives extended by restraint. The lioness moves forward carrying hunger, but also wisdom. The hyenas scatter across the plains, carrying confidence tempered by caution. No trophy marks their encounter. No final victory defines it. Because in the wild, survival is not a moment. It is a pattern. Strength fades. Numbers shift. Conditions change. What endures is the ability to adapt. And as long as that balance holds, the savanna will continue to breathe, silent, watchful, and unforgiving.